Be ready. Okay. I'd like to call a meeting to order. Can you hear me? Is it good? Okay, thank you. And the time now is 7:01. And if you'll all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Uh, Jack,
Present.
me, Boozer, yes, Cheney,
Here.
Fisher,
Excused.
and Jenny.
Present.
Okay.
Any changes to the agenda, anyone? Okay. I'd entertain a motion to
Move to approve. Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And if you'll take a look at the June 16th meeting minutes. You've had them to be able to review, but any modifications needed?
Oh dear. Didn't mark anything. I'd so move.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the July 1st work session minutes.
Move to accept. Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right. At this time, we'll open up for public comment. There will be another time in the towards the end of the meeting for additional public comments, and I will open the floor for individuals to speak for up to 3 minutes. Anybody? By the way, thank you those that are in the audience and not on a committee. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. And Sue, up for celebration of Higgins Lake and beyond.
So I haven't made a PowerPoint in like 12 years since I retired. So this was my first go at it in a long time.
Can everybody hear her?
So don't be don't expect great
So-
things. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. We'll go with the celebrated Higgins Lake. So as you know, we're planning celebration of Higgins Lake at the marina on August 8th. These are the people that we have that have committed to host a table. So the road end committee is going to do it with the fertilizer. We're going to have the watershed interactive map that will show some where septics are recorded or not recorded or whatever. Ed will be doing that. The septic committee is going to run a table. We've invited the Health of Higgins Lake. No, we've invited the foundation to come and they're going to host a table to pass out their free water testing. Melanie Brown is going to do one on fisheries. She's got some nice posters to talk about the different fish in the lake and also what they eat. We have the property owners, Fred Swinehart's going to be there with the most recent video that they've taken of the bottom of the lake with the big dive that they did here a few weeks back. The aquatic invasive committee is going to also have a table, hopefully with some hands-on, like, this is a quagga mussel and this is a whatever. Then there'll be a table for the steering committee. although I'm not sure who else is going to be there to man it. But I hoping that's also where we'll have all our swag. The science has also, Brad's also said that he will do a table and have information at his table. And then we're working hard and have some ideas about how we're going to do the Higgins Lake watershed. I have some ideas. All right, so that's the educational part of the day. The fun part of the day is going to be hot dogs and chips and ice cream bars and water. We're going to have a bounce house. We're going to have a large map of Higgins Lake with pins on. Little kids can talk about where their favorite place on the lake is, and they can pin it. Jenny's putting together scavenger hunts, both for kids on property and a larger scavenger hunt that will take place that day around the whole lake. And then we're hoping to have a video booth where we can get little kids to say, what's your favorite part about being at Higgins Lake? And they can say, I get marshmallows or, something cute. Which I can talk about why we want to do that later. I don't have anybody to man that yet. It wouldn't be that hard to do. You just need a phone and be outgoing, but I don't have anybody to do that yet. And then swag, we have koozies that we're going to have. We're going to have magnets the size of a business card with our QR code on them and our logo. I found car stickers, vinyl car stickers that were really reasonably priced that we're going to have there. And some paper stickers. And then, of course, we have t-shirts. And I encourage everyone to order your t-shirt soon on the web because we only have so many. And I'd like to know if I sell out of all those, I have time enough to back order more. So we have them at the celebration. Outside, MSU is going to be there with their boat wash to talk about invasive species. That next one should have been scratched out. I just heard that Dr. Ludington will not be speaking. And this is more of a negative side, I guess. The dash boat is also not available.
Oh,
But I know,
bummer.
the dash boat, we're hoping to get it scheduled early enough and get somebody online early enough next year. They were all about next year. We'll do it next year.
Good.
So we're open for suggestions on anything that we've missed or you don't like, or,
Okay.
all right, we'll keep working at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't comment, but Jim Osling is taking over facility management. So he's getting the tables and the chairs and all of that stuff.
So get your t-shirts
Get your t-shirts.
soon. And also on that same day is the fire department's open house. And so we want to make sure we encourage, participants to go both places. We tried to book here, but it was already taken. So we had to adjust. And we want to make sure that people attend the fire department's open house as well.
Jenny, you want me to get two signs, one that says, make sure you visit the firehouse, and one that says, make sure you visit Health of Higgins Lake so that we can have them at both places?
That'd be great.
Okay.
I had tried to see if we could get some flyers for tonight, and they weren't ready yet.
They weren't ready.
Oh.
Ours are ready. They're back on the table.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll add those signs so that we can have them up at both places so they can cross-reference.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Thanks, Sue. It's a
Thank
ton
you.
of work already put into it, and I know you had some assistance, but
Yeah. I know I could use some more assistance. We still need people to man stuff.
okay, especially like the photo booth
The photo booth is
would be a really cute project.
it would be
and
a great fun project. I would love to do it myself, but no.
it can't be everywhere. And you do have a release for them to sign
We
so that
have
the
a
children
release
can
that they would sign. Yes.
Those-
Yes, there's a release that they can sign.
Anybody have any questions for Sue from the board? Again, there'll be time for open comments towards the end of the meeting, so hold your thoughts, those of you in the public, and we'll entertain questions later from the public. Jim?
I think it's okay to say with good chance that you can have some music there too.
Oh, fun. Okay.
So I think they'll have.
And it's going to be again over at the marina and indoors, outdoors, playground equipment, plenty of parking. So please
The hours are.
pass the word.
Sorry, 11 to 3.
Anything else for Celebrate Higgins Lake and beyond? All right, Sue, you're still up.
I know. Okay. All right. Geofencing. The geofencing. That one. Yep. All right. So, yes. This one's going to have some video. Oh, that's me. Can you kill it, please? Okay. So we talked to the board.
Oh, no.
Um,
Who's
and um, John Barty did a great job explaining the geofencing and what it was and why we wanted to do it. So we've been very busy working on trying to make this all come together. All right. So what we ended up doing was we decided we had 4 different target audiences. We have one, the campgrounds. That's a certain segment of people to give a certain message to. The second one was really water, on the water or at the launch. The third one is like around the lake, but not in the water. Okay. So the perimeter where people live. And the last one is that part of Garish that's like the southwest corner, not all the way to 127, but on 27, and probably not that corner where the people will come off the road and turn to go down to Houghton Lake. We cut that out. So that's not part of it.
So that corner north and
that corner north, but not including that corner.
And east.
And east. Yes. Yes. So the campground, this is what basically the geofence looks like. And we have the northern lights, we have the South Park, the North Park, and we have the KOA camps. So these are the campground places that will be targeted for the geofence. Okay. And these are the 2 visuals that will come up. Obviously, you can read them. Leave nothing but footprints, take only memories, keep it clean. And then can you click on Camping A? Maybe click twice. Should link out to do you have a? It opened it in my end. Let me show it.
Sue, would it be helpful? I don't know if it'll pick up your voice, but to point out. Yeah, that's not going to work either, is it?
No, this is a whole video.
Ah.
And there's several of them I'd really like you to see if we can at all see them.
Camping creates unforgettable memories, but
Is there a visual? Even if we stop the presentation and then come back to it, that's fine too. There we go. All right, so this is one of them.
your trash shouldn't be one of them. Before you head home, take everything you brought with you, and if you have room, pick up one extra piece of litter. Together, we can keep our campgrounds, lakes, and forests clean for future generations. Take your trash, leave nature. It's a small act that makes a big difference.
Okay, maybe you can keep that up and then hit camp 2. It'll be a couple pages down. There you go.
Welcome to Michigan's most treasured lake, a place where crystal clear waters meet towering pines, where families gather, friends reconnect, and every season brings a new adventure. Whether you're boating, swimming, fishing, or simply enjoying the view, We're all part of protecting this incredible natural treasure. Welcome to Higgins Lake, where together we keep Michigan's jewels shining for generations to come.
Okay, now if you go back to the PowerPoint, there's more videos. But yeah, okay, then go to the next slide. So what happens is that um they go to the video, and then at the end of the video on these, if they touch it again, they go to this page on our website. This is where they will end up landing. This is the landing page. And it's just we're glad you're here. Sign up for newsletters, sign up for this, and then just a little blurb about how that we love our lake and we hope you love our lake too. Okay, so that's the camps. All right, the
Nice.
next one is the water. This is the entire lake plus those three marinas. Okay, so those three marinas are included in this. So if those, go ahead and click to the next one. These are the three different things that you could get hit with if you're on the water or at a marina. So the first one is the boater guide, and we'll watch that video. The second one is nature calls, and then we have all of the restrooms on an interactive map. And then the third one is this gas card, which does not have a video to it, and we'll show you. It sends it directly to our page to sign up for the gas card. So now if we can just do the three different videos, I think it's important to show these videos so that you see what's going.
Michigan's most treasured lake is waiting for you and your family. Before you launch or you're ready, the Michigan Boater's Guide has everything you need to boat safely, protect our waters, and enjoy your time on the lake. Get your free Michigan Boater's Guide today. Boat smart, protect Higgins Lake.
Okay, and then there's one other one on that. There's a second one, the bathroom one. Nature calls.
Days at Higgins Lake are made for swimming, boating, and making memories. That's why convenient access to 8 restroom locations around the lake helps everyone enjoy the water while protecting the lake we love. Click on our interactive map to find the nearest location to you. Do your part. Use the facilities. Keep Higgins Lake clean, clear, and beautiful for generations to come.
Okay, then back at the PowerPoint, I'll show you where we land on those. So on the next slide, we'll show you where you land on the site. Didn't know you're gonna have to work so hard tonight, did you? So the next slide. Both marinas agreed to give their $100 gift card. So the one on the left, the boating one, you actually land on the DNR. Is it DNR? Ed? Yeah, the DNR site, so that it takes it away from us.
Okay.
The second one is that interactive map that Ed put together, and the third one is what it looks like to sign up for the gas card. And the gas card goes directly to our constant contact group.
Okay.
So we don't have to do anything with it. Nope, that's not true. It does not. It comes to us because we have it separate than just general sign up. So we know who actually did the gas card.
Okay.
Okay. Next one are just the general people around the lake. I'm supposed to.
You're fine, Sue.
Okay. This covers all around the lake, but not on the water. Okay. So the next one. And again, we'll want to do that turquoise video.
Higgins Lake is one of Michigan's treasures. its turquoise water is worth protecting. Join HOHL for updates and learn how small choices around the lake can help protect the water we all love.
That actually, there's needs to be an edit on that one. That little website direction is wrong at the bottom of that one. That's in the list. Okay, and then the right side of that particular slide in the presentation is, again, it's the same landing page as the first one. It's basically just, we're glad you're here. Please sign up, look around the website, learn anything you can. Okay, next. So then the last one is this West Garrett Township. And I think what we're going to end up doing is we're going to combine these last two. I don't really see any need to have the message be different between these two maps. So we can go to the next page and there'll be another video. Garish.
Higgins Lake is one of Michigan's treasures. Its turquoise water is worth protecting. Join HOHL for updates and learn how small choices around the lake can help protect the water we all love.
And this one, if you touch this one takes you directly, you can go back to the PowerPoint. And that was the last video. It takes you directly to the constant contact sign-in page, which I'll talk about in my committee report about this. I'll talk about it now. We've migrated to constant contact. So when they fill this out, it no longer takes anybody time or effort to put it into a spreadsheet. And then when we mail out stuff, it's streamlined. It's going to take hours out of Marty's work. So anyway, that goes directly to constant contact is where that one goes. All right, so the next step is we're thinking we're going to be able to launch later this week. We still need to do a demographics, if we want to do any, demographics on who we want to target. And then we'll start monitoring the website and the email signups and see how it does, and we'll determine if it's being effective or not before we move into our second month. Want to thank Todd Pride and Nexstar Digital. He's done an exceptional job. He's the one who pulled 99% of this stuff together with our guidance. So he's done a great job for us. Any questions?
When are we going to get numbers back on it to evaluate?
The day we launch, we'll get initial numbers. It's supposed to be live. Anytime you want to look, you can look. So we should be able to know right away. We're also going to segment. We don't want to use all of our impressions up like at the campgrounds in the first day. We're going to spread them out. So many per week, so many per area, that kind of stuff over a 30-day period.
So our next steering committee meeting is not until the third week or whatever of August. Since we don't have a work session or anything, if we could get data the second week of
we can provide
August.
Data. Yeah, we can provide data. Yeah.
That way we'll have it ready to go for our meeting and or sooner.
Yep. You guys did approve 2 months.
Yes.
But I
Correct.
want to stop it if it looks like we're not getting anything. That doesn't make any sense to do it if we're not getting any clicks or any emails. So,
Well,
okay.
we're trying.
Any other questions on that? I think I'm up again.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the next portion of subcommittee monthly reports and updates. Sue.
Oh, look, it's Sue again.
I know, it's the Sue show. Okay, so that's the committee one. There you go. This one's short.
On the table back there for the public, there are the agendas, then the monthly report, and the something, another
Flyers.
document, Jim, I can't. Oh, we should probably pull that because we're going to make adjustments to that. Thank you.
Okay, so my committee report, the communications committee. We're still doing the associations. We're still trying to contact people that we have not been able to contact in associations. We attended 2 in June. We're attending 6 in July, 2 in August, and 3 in September, at different ones. I did Maplehurst. It was very well received. Got some good feedback. Somebody said, "Oh, you should go to the website. There's all kinds of information there." So that was good to hear back
Nice.
that there was some positives out there. There was one negative Nelly there, but there's always one. Um, like I said, we migrated the email list over to Constant Contact. And since we've done that, and some of this is because we've been at the association meetings and there's just been some extra increase, but we're up to 372 emails, which is a significant jump from last month.
Very good.
The ripple effect with everything else going on, we did not get a in-depth ripple effect pulled together this month, so we're going to use the ripple effect this month for celebration of Higgins Lake advertisement for our mid-month, which should go out anytime now. Email that goes out. Obviously, in June we did the watershed density map. Then we have the road ends, and we're going to do the recorded septic ones. Are the next ones coming up. And then the committee's been working on the Celebrative Higgins Lake event. Next slide. Working on the geofencing. It's taking a lot of time. We have started a YouTube channel. It is out there. It's called Health of Higgins Lake. There's only one video on it right now. There's other videos that have been taken. I just haven't had time to move them over to the YouTube channel. They are of people on committees saying why they're on a committee is what they are. I have Ethan and Tim and Rick Shoemaker. I'm going to get Brad. Anyway, we continue to work with Facebook and Instagram. And then these are the website. We finally got these analytics figured out.
Okay.
Thanks to Ed showing me where to look. 122 visitors in the last 22 days, 28 days. However many they are. There's 25 were totally new. Other ones were repeats, I think. I can't read it very well. And we spent some time on the website. We spent a lot of time on the website. And it has a facelift. So if you haven't been on it recently, take a look. It's better. I'm not going to say it's going to win any awards, but it's better. And the information, all the information is there. It may not be as beautiful as it should be, but the information is there. And this is me trying not to drop anything right now.
You are juggling a lot. And
Good job.
yeah, greatly appreciated. I too had what the Norways Association had presented at the Norways Association, and there was very good feedback about the various projects and efforts that are going on. And we do welcome all comments, criticisms, you name it, because it's better to know than not. And so the positives keep us motivated, and the constructive keep us, sharp.
Moving on.
So,
Yeah, and when we
appreciate it.
visit these associations, we have flyers and we have yard signs. I gave out 6 yard signs. So that's happening at these association meetings.
Very good.
Okay.
Anything for Sue?
Good job, Sue.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
All right.
I can get out.
Funding would normally be next, but Catherine has asked to kind of decrease the amount of commitment that or not commitment, workload to the HOHL. And so we've all kind of mulled this over a little bit, and we're going to have a discussion in the old business section in that regard. So Catherine is not with us tonight, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. Ed.
You want me at the microphone?
I do.
I have no PowerPoint presentation, I'll just tell you that. That's a hard act to follow. That's a hard act
But at
to
least
follow.
one happy camper.
Yeah. So, a lot of what we've been doing, we got all of the latest Central Michigan District Health information, and we've put that on the map. We're still doing QA on that. They changed the shape of the data. In other words, the columns where things were, so we had to wrench things around quite a bit. Additionally, I've been working on the Watershed Information Act map.
again, working on stabilization after the new data. We also got new data from the assessor's office. So we have all new data coming in from the middle of June on everything. So we're staying up to date on that. Been dealing with the normal Nextcloud stuff. We've got space issues. Working with Jim, trying to figure, and actually Brian Hill, trying to figure out where we can get additional space. Hosting gear is really expensive for space, but you can attach other cloud storage to Nextcloud. So we're looking to either use OneDrive or Google Drive or something like that. And what we're chasing right now is if the township has any resources that we can use. Been supporting communications on the website. We took backups of the website, moved them to a local server farm, and played all kinds of what if games in terms of making the website look better. We've still got more to do on that, but it's markedly improved from what it was before. We were using AI heavily, and AI went sideways on us severely. So we had to spend some time straightening out that. Also been helping out with the HLPOA Dive Media, getting that organized. So they have stuff that they can show for the Celebrate Higgins Lake Day.
Excellent.
And in addition to that, just working on the normal, mundane Nextcloud, Zotero type stuff and keeping things going. So,
Greatly appreciated because I don't have that skill set.
well,
So thank you. I bet.
anyhow,
Okay.
that's it. Any questions?
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is Tim online? The chance? Okay. So as far as rodents, in the monthly report, there are tidbits of information that you can review there. And as far as fertilizer, I know that he was last looking for some volunteers to get that committee off and rolling. The focus, as I kind of gathered, is assessing studies, trying to find out where issues are maybe in relation to fertilizer, and then promoting education, partnering with like HLF and their fertilizer type programs and so on. So if anybody out there is interested in that area, please let us know and we'll get you connected with Tim and get going on that project. All right, next is science. Brad.
First of all, Sue and the communications committee, great job and everything you're doing. I'm really impressed by that. We at the science committee, though, I will tell you, we're more of the bookworms. We are in the research phase still. We don't have a lot to report to you in terms of all our subcommittees are actively working. I've been getting just, making sure that they're meeting and moving forward, and they are. I will be we have a meeting 2 weeks from today, so the 5th of August. And at that point, we should have status reports, and then I'll be able to have you for your August meeting, some kind of draft of where every committee is and how much more they have to go before we're able to present a formal presentation to all of you. So it's like we're in the library doing work right now is where we're at. Do you need questions or? Okay, thank you.
And again, you can see more notes in the monthly report document that's back on the table there. And Jim. And I've listed as septic, but it's septic and groundwater. So
yeah, kudos to Sue on that. That's all that stuff coming along is great. And next time I'd like to know that you're doing a PowerPoint before I get here. You put you on at the end then, like Yeah, yeah. Um. The septic committee is, our schedule, we had to cancel a meeting last month and, we've got to cancel another meeting this month because I can't be there. And we moved another meeting from our regular meeting to meet with the planning commission. The planning commission has our ordinance right now, our draft ordinance, and they're working through that, working through the details of how that fits in with the township itself and, making changes and whatever. So I attend those meetings with the planning commission just to answer questions. The next meeting, we've moved from their normal evening meeting to our regular scheduled septic meeting on, August 11th, I think it's when it is. Like, August 11th. 1 o'clock. That after the is the planning commission at 10? Yeah. Oh, okay. No, it's
I've got it on the calendar for the
1 o'clock.
septic and planning.
Yeah, I think because they took our spot. They took the septic spot. So,
Okay.
and we will have they've been invited. I haven't heard back for sure yet, but I've got an okay that the health department folks are going to be there for that to answer questions and see how they can fit in with it as well.
And that is a public meeting, so there will be township Zoom for it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's here.
That's
So-
right here. Yep. That's a regular
Date, time.
planning. It's
1 p.m.
August 11th at 1 o'clock.
And that Zoom link is on the main page of Garish Township for anybody interested.
So the septic ordinance is, like I said, being reviewed at the planning commission. We took note of the water well testing that the HLF is doing and, supported that completely. I got my well tested. I had 2 wells in 2 different locations. I got them tested. Took me about half an hour to do the whole thing and got the results back in 2 days and just easy peasy. So everybody should take advantage of that if they can.
On that note, can I make
Yep.
an announcement that when you're doing the testing, be sure to note on your paperwork to have it also shared with the health department? Are we still required?
Yep.
Okay.
If you're so inclined,
Yeah,
check the box and have
Raven.
Raven send the results down to the health department, and that will help us to update our database. You're not required to do that. If you get the test and you'd rather not send it to the health department, you don't have to. But if you send it down there, you will help us gather the data that identifies any kind of, that everybody's wells, the kind of, we can fill in our data with the information that's in the health department. The ordinance will eventually require water well testing, and this can be used to check that box if you so choose. So,
Okay. And it's free at this time through HLF.
yep. Ed talked about the data. We're continuing to work with Ed to make sure our data is up to snuff. There's a statewide septic ordinance that got approved at the Michigan Senate a couple of weeks ago, and it's been moved to the House. And so we'll see what happens there. It's unlikely, from what I've heard, that much will happen with it in the rest of this term. But anyway, it's been moved on, and it's a statewide ordinance. We're the only state in the country that doesn't have a septic ordinance. Their ordinance, from what I've read through it and what I've heard about, is it's pretty it's pretty general, and we have some other conditions that we want to try to address here around the lake. So our ordinance is likely to be more stringent than what might come out of the state's ordinance, but who knows? We'll see what the final results or what the final draft of that ordinance is. I think I mentioned before, it's on my notes here, that we did Lake Saver Days. We participated with the HLF and did a presentation on septics at the
Yep.
Lake Saver Days. That was back in the first part of June. And then, of course, to celebrate Higgins Lake that we've been talking about. And
Groundwater, any update, Matt?
yeah, the
Dana?
groundwater portion, the septic committee has kind of moved past the septic ordinance, although we're monitoring as it goes along, and we're starting to focus on the groundwater as it passes through from the watershed out into the lake and the effects it has on public health and obviously on the lake. So we've created we're in the process of identifying the types of testing that should be done around the lake and the kind of things that we really want to have a better handle on. It's phosphorus and nitrates and, other stuff that needs to be tested for, and identifying what those tests look like, where they should be taken, and developing that database. We've created a tracking sheet that shows that we want to go. Now we're working on populating that sheet to add in all of the tests that have done that we can identify over the years and enter them into the database. And then their information will be captured elsewhere in the database. So we can sort through this tracking sheet and see, show me where all the phosphorus tests have been taken in the last 15 years or whatever.
You can merge it all together into one
Yeah,
document.
get it all into one document. That's kind of been our goal from the very beginning, was to get our arms around all this information that's out there into one spot. And that's part of what this is going to be.
So the water testing, individual water testing would also enhance that.
Yep.
Information
But
and-
the water information testing would also go in there and identified, so we can identify how many tests within any particular area. We have a matrix that we're developing that shows that locates any test that's taken down to a 40-acre parcel. Within that 40-acre parcel, someplace you can easily identify that size. And then additionally, that every record would have the GPS location of that test too. So you can drill down even further yet. And there's a lot of work to be done there yet, and it's going to certainly take some time. But we're getting started on it anyway. So
So a lot of variables as far as proximities and ground, clay levels and all kinds of factors that you're looking at with all of your efforts through maps and.
yeah, that gets me to later in the agenda. I think that it's on your plate, but the big piece that I'm excited about right now is the hopefully the development of a demonstration map that would take and do an engineering drawing of a particular subdivision and locate all the houses, locate the septic tanks, locate the drain fields, locate the wells, and have those all tied in. There's a LiDAR survey that's been done that we're going to incorporate or tap into that information and meld that with some ground survey information and bring those two together to develop this map. And with that map, then another layer would be to start to show the ground, the topography, the subsurface, subterranean topography, where the clay layers are, where the gravel is, where the sand is. And then right below any septic tank, you can see how far it is to a clay layer. You can identify if your wells have pierced that clay layer and you're drawing water from your domestic water from below a clay layer, which is important. And then we can also, in research part of it, we can take a look at what the water wells have tested for. And if they're testing good and it identifies that they're below a clay layer, then that's all great news, and that really, checks some boxes. But if you're testing bad and you're not pierced through a clay layer, it starts to raise a flag about, just exactly where you're, the condition of your water. So with that, we hope to be able to demonstrate to people, what's going on underneath their house, underneath their septics, at the bottom of their wells, where they're getting their water from, where there's neighbors' wells are getting their water from in relationship to your septic and vice versa. So I think it's going to be a great tool, if we can make it happen. So.
Kind of like the communications team trying this geofencing, doing a sample project and seeing what fruit come from it. And this demonstration map is the same type of thing. So
I'd like to see, yeah, if this map goes well, and the next step would be to, do 2 or 3 more of them around the lake with different topography that are picking up very, very low areas that are down in way down into the floodplain, and other areas that are higher sloping lots that see how they are affected by these as well, and use, just so we're not doing all the same one, but we can use these demonstration maps. So.
for more information, Jim presented at the last meeting at the work session or at the last
At the
steering
last
committee?
work section, I think. You mean the demonstration map?
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be online on YouTube. So if you want to circle back to that meeting, it was July 1st. YouTube. All right. Anything for Jim?
Thank you, Jim.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
That you want to watch any of those videos, you can just go to the steering committee page on the website for all.
Excellent. Okay, go to the hoh-lake.org. Under steering committee are the previous minutes or meetings that
Recordings.
have been recorded. Okay. All right. Moving on to old business, we briefly touched on, and Jim, we're going to circle back to yours in a little bit. The funding committee was established prior to the progression of the activities that have transpired so far, and we kind of tossed around how best to handle the projects that are now coming to light, and how to collect that information and the budget information and make sure that we're in keeping with the Garish Township. So we have talked about incorporating the funding aspect into the steering committee. So we are looking for a volunteer that has that type of background, that would enjoy tracking projects and making sure that we have dotted our i's, crossed our t's, to make sure that we can then either access resources through Garish Township or the local organizations or beyond. Catherine is going to continue to assist us by if a project needs funding through grants, she will, assist us in that sense. If it's in an ecological type situation, we've had conversations with HLF, and there's many other resources that we could tap into, but we want to make sure that we are collecting adequate information about the projects, and so we're moving. We'd like to move that funding committee into the steering committee. So at this time, I'd like to entertain any discussion in that regard from our board members.
Can you repeat what you just said? Like I'm sort of.
Yep, you're
Okay.
fine. I get it. We're looking to try to incorporate the funding process on behalf of the HOHL and then on to Garish Township through the steering committee. So we're talking about no longer having a standalone funding committee and incorporating that. Any questions, discussion?
How do the other departments handle this type of situation? I mean,
Well, we've had
I mean,
septic pickup groundwater.
I don't mean our
Oh.
our subcommittees. I mean, like the fire department, the police department. I mean, how do they get their word up to the board, the Garish board?
Good question, Jim.
Yeah, I should probably know that.
The, the fire department and the police department have obviously their chiefs and their own officers and their budget. They have a, a special assessment budget, and they come to the township board with a budget request each year. We review that and approve that budget. Then they work within that budget. If for some reason, but their funds are fixed. So it's not like they can come back to the municipality and say, I need more money.
They have a different source of
Yeah, they have
funding.
different source of funding,
I mean,
but they handle it all on their own. Maybe closer to your question would be, and I'm not sure how it would work, the planning commission is kind of like at the same sort of a level as you guys are. And the planning commission would have come to, when they needed to do their master plan, I'm pretty sure they made a proposal and came to the township board and said, we need $20,000 to upgrade our master plan. And the township board took that into consideration. And ahead of time, before the year, we heard rumor that they were going to, not rumored, they had told us that they want to update it. So in our planning process, we included money for that master plan. They came to us and said, okay, it's time to do this. And the township board approved it, to move forward. I think here there's a certain level, and we talked about it before, and I'm going to stick to $3,000. I have a signatory for $3,000. If it's under that, I will give whoever authorization to, excuse me, to make that purchase, as long as it's been an identified internal to your organization, to the Health of Higgins Lake organization. It's been identified in a budget, or something that's been talked about, and then you're good to go. If it gets over that, we'll need to go back to the board and make a request for that expenditure.
Yeah, I'm interested in how those other organizations get, process their budgets. How do they then make their requests? I understand that, the chief or whatever council there happens to be, or committee like us, the steering committee, make
Budgets
that
are approved.
right.
And when they have major expenditures, I used to come to the board.
Right.
And it's line item going to come under line item this. Got the money for it?
So
Right.
budgets are submitted from those entities.
Exactly. And Jim Anderson went through all that procedure from us up.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned with us down. Okay.
Right.
Do those other organizations have a funding committee or a finance committee, or is somebody on their steering? I'm using those
Right.
terms.
No,
but
good question.
Their steering committee in charge of their budget. How is their budget developed before it's approved or before it's submitted? Because that's what we're talking about.
Right.
Okay. We're talking about all our subcommittees
Yeah.
coming forward to someone to consolidate all that into our budget that we submit to the board.
Would this be a kind of a way to summarize it, that maybe as a steering committee, we need to develop a budget and then periodically bring that forward to the township board?
Right. And that's basically
A general
Jim gave
budget.
us the procedure to do that.
Right.
But we need that budget in order to.
Right. And so from the
What I'm
subcommittees,
asking is how other people develop their budgets.
I don't think there's, in the township here, I don't think that I can think of an organization that's got, the hierarchy that's here,
Right.
because we've split that up into, these subcommittees have gone out and they all have a focus on different things. Septic's got one thing in mind, science has got something else. So if they have an expenditure or funding opportunity, that needs to come back to, I think what was the funding committee and now is going to be here. They'll need to come back and say, this is, I've got if it's under $3,000, I think that's one thing, but if it's over 3,000, okay, I have this opportunity. You guys have to weigh that out and say, okay, this makes sense. Let's.
Should we amend our budget to
Yeah.
include that? Or
Yeah. Now, Jim, the treasurer, will, if you want, he will manage all those line items. If you give him what you want, he'll put them all in his recording piece of it. But I think you are better off to let him manage a couple of line items or maybe a single line item. And then you work within that, but you have your own budget opportunity down here that you're easily, you can noodle that over and decide what's got to happen. I think that's a better way to go about it than have him do it.
again,
Very
Yeah.
good.
and I'm not overly concerned about from us to the township
Someone
board.
getting up to you.
I'm more concerned about how we, as our whole organization, deals with
Well,
getting that budget in one place and getting it.
we've been a year poking at this and we haven't really had any big expenses up until just recently. And I went through some of the same questions. How do I get with this map that I'm talking about? That's the first sort of a large project that we've had. How do I get that how do we get that approved and
Right.
run through the committees properly? So all I could think to do was to write it up and get it to you guys to weigh in on.
In essence, this is like the township board, or it's a steering committee, and it comes to us.
And then moves up.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, except you have one more
One more
You'll need
layer.
one more.
Yeah.
Once,
Yeah,
you
there's
know,
one
this,
more
this,
layer.
this map project will likely, depending on where the funding comes from, that will end up back likely at the township board rather than here. You won't be able to approve
Right.
that
Officially.
officially. That'll end up back on the township's board's official, it's over
Yeah.
over
We'll just
$3,000.
recommend a yay or
They're
nay.
going to want to,
But
yeah.
Plus, due to transparency and under the auspices of Garrish Township, we need to make sure that kind of information gets to them.
Yep.
They need to be fully aware
Yep.
of any expenditure.
They're the ones that are,
Well,
depending on what the
they'll-
funding is and where it comes from. And, they likely are involved, the township board is likely involved, liability wise.
Correct.
They certainly then need to know
The details.
what contracts they've entered into for, for repayment of, if they're grants or loans or whatever they're doing.
So at this time, I'd like to propose or suggest that we make a motion to disband and to then incorporate the funding portion into the steering committee. Any further discussion?
So are you saying approval to disband?
I'm suggesting that we disband the funding committee as we kind of previously and to incorporate it into the realm of the steering committee. Dan, did you have?
Okay.
You good?
So move.
second,
All right.
Into the realm, is that how you want to word it?
I did hear you.
Into the realm, is that how you want to word it? Is that
Within
right?
the steering committee's purview, yeah.
Purview?
Okay. I had a motion from Don, support by Jack. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Any opposed? All right.
Just like to make one comment in terms of
Sure.
former funding chair is, I think this is a great plan because virtually every meeting we had while I was chair, we tried to figure out how to get other committees to tell us what they needed to do. And it was a disjoint discussion always because the other committees didn't report to us. So moving this into the steering committee makes all the sense.
Very good. Thank you. And moving on to the next
Want to volunteer?
point.
No, I resigned once. I don't want to resign.
Then moving on to the next about the funding request and reporting. So we've kind of had that discussion and I've kind of drafted a, so to speak, protocol and steering members who have a copy of that letter, dear HOHL chairs and members. As we talked about a few minutes ago, we are an extension of Garish Township. We are voluntarily doing work and accessing internal, external financial resource on behalf of the township. In order to track these projects requiring or utilizing funding, I propose that we utilize the following outline. Letter would be submitted with an intro, clear, concise overview and defined problem or project need, brief outline of the project proposal with goals, SMART objectives, a plan, methods, outcomes, key achievements or relevant experiences leading up to the proposal, resources, financial, volunteers, etc., available and needed, timelines, and a budget that would provide details of proposed expenditures and include all project funding, internal and external resources, so that we have a good handle on what is needed and maybe being able to then move that information into Catherine's hands to look for grants with a good solid project proposal and conclusions. And then that would be submitted to the steering committee and we would review it. And as we did like with the septic proposed ordinance, ask for clarification or more information, or if there isn't any additional information needed, then we would approve and forward it on to the township for review, approval, and accountability. If that sounds like a good plan, any discussion?
Are we gonna have it written up formally then and do it next time?
Sure, we can.
Like 200?
Yeah,
Sure, Sue. Oops. Okay.
We need to have somebody that like got a feel for like when grants are need to be applied and what's available. And there's this one that comes from, I don't know, there was one from Spectrum a long time ago. It was given out quarterly for sure, a little bit of money. And so is Catherine gonna manage the scope of available money? I mean,
No.
you've addressed what we want, but
The proposals will come to us and we can share it with Catherine if it, like you say, if it would be best served to find other funding sources and so on. But it could be through the local organizations as well. And like with HLF, it's got to be an ecological. So if it shoe fits, then, we would try to make sure that that volunteer, us, whatever, does try to help open those doors to get that project connected to a funding source. But yes, you're right, Sue. It's kind of right. And we're also going to rely on the committees that I know, like Jim had talked about, that he was approached by one of the organizations, and so that happens as well as then we've got a project, but we don't have a source. So now what do we do? And I don't have the answers, and we won't have the answers, but hopefully we'll find someone who has, like Catherine, that strong background. Steering committee. We need to be able to be accountable to Garish Township. I know. Trying to find our way. I'm not absolutely positive how.
we'll
Yeah. And so what monies are available through Garish Township? Let's say there's no HLF, there's no Eagle, nothing. It's all coming from the township. How do we know what we might even be able to request?
It's a good question. it's kind of like the Eagle press release coming out right now, and knowing that we had to adjust it from what was beginning, and now we have, you'll see it, proposed. As the projects come in, we have to kind of find our way.
Jim, does the board have a line item?
Yes.
With what yours is put into.
But it's, my understanding is last year, that went to zero. It was at $20,000 and it went to zero. And so if the police department went to zero, that would be a problem. So it's.
It went to zero and then it went back to 10,000.
It went back to what was contributed. Now, as far as I know. Okay.
Pretty sure that the township municipal put in $10,000 in the budget. There's other money that has been contributed by people that's sitting in there.
We know how much they come.
What if we start out with?
Is that
So-
10,000 every year?
Subject to the budget review every year. Depends on, like any budget review, depends on the circumstances that are presented to the board. But it was, that started out in the very beginning at $20,000 and we funded it with 10. I know it's confusing, but it was approved at 20, we funded it with 10, didn't spend any of that money, so it went to zero. In the next budget, that's this year, I think it went in at $10,000.
We can, I will take, I will appreciate the question and comment, and I will take it upon myself. I'll take it upon myself to reach out to Jim Anderson and find out what the bottom line is right now. And then periodically, whoever of us ends up being this maybe guru, keep tabs on that with Jim and get a report.
Let
Okay.
me just make the comment that I also am on the board of the Roscommon Community Garden, and all our funding, we only do projects that we already have funds for. But if we don't have the funds, we don't do the project. You guys, all the subcommittees can submit your report or your requests. But if there's no money there, or we haven't identified a source for that money, that project just doesn't get approved.
Or if projects
Until the money is there.
or if projects are submitted and there's multiple projects, then we have to figure out,
We have to prioritize. too.
prioritize. So there's the other side of the coin. But yeah.
Right.
But if you don't have there are things that you either will not fund, okay, that we want to do.
Understand.
And so that money has to come from the
But-
township or other sources.
But in order to
Right.
get what we got from Eagle, we told them what we were going to do.
Yeah.
And so those are the things we will do. Everything that comes after that, unless we amend.
Okay, so let's go back to the item on the table right now, and that was that from our committees, the steering committee would require that if you have a project, you need to submit a letter of proposal, and we'll again put it out in a different format if need be, but it's intro, outline, conclusion. And in our conversation with Higgins Lake Foundation, this aligns with that application process as well. So we're not doing anything unusual. We're not trying to make more work. It's pretty simple. And so if there are any other comments in this regard, we'll go ahead and approve project proposal procedures if I can get a motion.
Also move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. So in that same vein, as you heard last meeting and this meeting, that Jim has put in a proposal for the demonstration map. At the last work session, I did an oversight on my part, didn't realize that he had put in the amount of money that would be needed for the project. And so kind of like backtracking right now, that we had already said, yes, this project looks like something to move forward. We do have the budget information at 10,000, and I'd like to entertain a motion to approve that project and move it forward.
This was the map,
Yes.
Jim's map.
The one you presented last week,
Yeah.
right, or last month?
I thought we already approved that, but
We
okay, if we
did,
did-
but we
officially-
were waiting for we said it looks good.
We don't
Uh,
have to include the dollar amount in the,
okay,
pardon, in the approval. We don't need a dollar amount in approval. We just need the demonstration, yeah.
He put like we just talked about the outline and so on and so forth, as well as the amount of money that would be necessary to fund it. He had submitted that, so now we can approve the
Right,
project.
but we don't need it in the actual approval, the dollar amount. We're just approving the demonstration map
The
project.
project.
Okay. I'll motion it.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Coordination of water testing needs. Ethan Brand had been tasked with consolidating that information and is working on that. I just wanted to bring to light that was a nice project that he's, still in progress, and is waiting for information from one of our areas to determine gaps that are there in need of water testing. So more information to follow. Jim, any addition in that regard?
No. Not sure where that all came from, I guess.
The white paper that he's working on, it identified all the various
That's
different organizations that are doing different aspects, and
Yeah, well, that's matrix I was talking about and all the testing procedures that we're doing, so I'm aware of it, working with Ethan, and I don't think I got anything else that I can do.
okay, it's in progress. So anyways, he's made good progress in that regard, but it's still in process. Watershed management plan update. Jack, did you want to make a notation there, or do you want me just to let everybody know what your meeting?
Meeting.
Yeah.
And we have a meeting with Eagle. It was supposed to be the 8th and maybe it's gonna change now.
To from August 6th
The
to
6th in Gaylor.
Yep.
And I think it's at noon.
Okay. And the change could be made if we incorporate others at that table who have requested to be at the table. So we're looking at a new
Right.
date.
Right.
So, but they're
Jim's on vacation. We're just holding, we're waiting until he gets back.
okay. And volunteers, we've already talked about fertilizer, the open house, and steering committee. So again, appreciate if anyone is interested. And as far as the new business, Eagle press release, if anybody has a copy of that in the public, we're going to have a little discussion about it, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Dan.
Okay, well, I've reviewed what the press release, the text of the press release. My only comment is an objection to one particular sentence. Should I go ahead and read?
Sure.
read it? Okay. One of the paragraphs is labeled why this matters for Higgins Lake. Higgins Lake is the only inland lake in Michigan bordered by 2 state parks, draws roughly 1 million visitors per year. It's also the headwaters of Muskegon River, which flows through 9 downstream counties before reaching Lake Michigan. The sentence that I have an issue with is the following. Failing or aging septic systems are among the most significant threats to the lake's water quality, and better data is essential to addressing them effectively. I don't want to make that a public statement until we have published proof that septic systems threaten the lake.
And at this time, Catherine is not in our meeting. So, and I know that Sue, she was the one that drafted and yep.
Okay.
And so she could have more information in that regard, Don.
We could certainly say it is believed or it is thought that that's the case. Please.
Brad,
Brad.
sure.
Absolutely.
Other, a lot of data, EPA and stuff. We could say something I think would meet everyone's needs is that non-maintained or non-functioning septic systems can be a potential problem in bodies of water. I could get to names right from the EPA. And then something to the effect that one reason we're looking at doing.
Yeah, I mean, it does say,
inspections,
right.
something along that.
right. It does say better data is essential. And I agree with that part. What I don't agree with is just the blanket statement here that says that. Now, if we quoted the EPA saying that's altogether different.
I just think it's so important, whatever we put out has to be true information.
You guys, I'm right on the same page as you, right? I completely agree, and I think we can probably massage that into a way that says it can potentially be a problem, because I think, being on the planning commission, we're gonna be looking at how we're gonna do inventory and inspection of the septic. This is the kind of stuff we wanna know, is it in?
Right.
I think that can be massaged.
But we can't pull the data out, say, here's the
And we can
information.
say EPA says
Yeah.
that non-functioning systems.
Yeah.
can-
Absolutely.
Or studies show.
Studies show,
Yeah,
right.
studies show.
Exactly.
Because you're never gonna get all the data to prove that.
Not, yeah, that's not my argument.
Okay.
My argument is, okay, who has said that?
Right.
Okay.
So-
And,
so there-
or
there's-
are we just, anecdotally, we all know because we're all watching the lake turn green, but can we say this is the cause?
Studies show.
We can say studies show,
Yeah.
or the EPA has
Do
said,
do you think if we put to a lake's water quality instead of the, like, don't you think the sort of makes us think that it's Higgins Lake, but A means it could be any old lake? Yeah,
The lake.
the lake,
I take that as being like, we haven't demonstrated that yet.
yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, if you say A,
So-
it just means any old lake. If
One of-
you have a septic system, it could be a threat.
or can be, and then take out the, just say lake water quality.
Okay. Failing or aging septic systems can be among the most significant threats to a lake's water. quality
Lake's water quality.
and contribute. Okay,
Other than
So-
that, I'm good with that.
you good? Okay. Where am I? So I'd entertain a motion for the amended press release.
So
Well, wait, hold on. Back up a second. We hadn't had a chance to have comment about the budget. There's, since this was submitted, the timelines and so on of different projects and so on have changed, as well as then the timeline of receiving this grant. And so we are going to amend the budget. And you can see the grant application recommended adjusted actual and funding from elsewhere columns there. And any comments in that regard?
So the first column is what we asked for. The second column is how we plan to use it if it's okay.
Correct. That's approved.
And then there is additional funding
Yep.
that's popped in.
So far, that is what we know. And I know that Catherine has looked this over and
So we're
thinks
gonna
it's-
approve this change or
as
this?
well as the proposed project. Their
No,
press
no.
release, I should say.
So so we're going to, what we're approving then is that we will go forward to Eagle and ask to make these changes.
We're approving the amended press release and budget.
Okay.
So moved.
So, yep,
So who,
I'll second.
Motion
Okay.
and
Before we do that, I'd just like to make one comment. All the IT money has been pulled out of the money that's being approved, right?
On the Eagle grant?
Yes. And based on what I did, and it is. It's a middle column, correct?
No, that's the middle column. And that was my question. Middle column, I thought, is what we're going to ask Eagle to allow.
Right, I understand.
Well-
There's no money for any computer, software or hardware in that.
got it.
It's service card. Yeah. That's not what we're talking about.
Well, the original grant asked for 6,500, right?
Yeah. No. Same thing. Server storage is, that's a subscription. That's not buying hardware.
is,
Okay, so per our convers,
How it was meant.
I understand. I
I see what
understand.
you're saying, but it was, that line was to carry over computer software server, was to carry over from 6,500 to 5,000.
And I don't have a problem with that. I mean, you need to spend money on other things, that's fine. But what we're talking about there with the line item as it's specified is not what you and I have been like.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. Yeah, it was.
so
Computer software and server. No, it's not.
so we need to add computer software to that line item.
It should be, so server storage should be struck completely. It should just be.
Computer soft,
and server. It's not the same thing.
well,
And if we're trying to tell them what we're actually spending.
Maybe changed.
okay.
All right, just amend it.
Computer, software, and server.
Instead of storage.
Thank you.
okay, so
All right, let's go back at this again. Thanks, Ed, for the clarification word. All right, let's backtrack and as amended, as now amended. Can I get a motion?
Also move again.
Thank you. And support?
Sure.
Okay. Now, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
as amended, right?
And any nays? All right,
And we'll have fresh copies of that to take with us.
as amended. Okay. Now, let's see. We had the celebration of Higgins Lake and beyond invitations were sent to state representatives, and there is a copy of that in your packet. Just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Did we send it to more than Ken Borton?
There were two, yeah. Ho- I, Hotinga, is that, what is it? Okay. As well as. All right. And now we're down to public comments.
From Jim and Jenny.
On behalf of Garrish Township and the Health of Higgins Lake Initiative. As well as
And you.
Jim. Did I not include it in your packet? Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. All right, public comment. Any public comment? Thanks for hanging in there with us. No public comment? Anybody online? No, okay. And announcements. I just want to make sure everybody's heard that Foundation has the well water test kits, and it sounded like they had depleted their sources and got more. They're available at the farmers market as well as at their office in town. And then I also have noted on here some of our local organizations, and so is a ton of activity out there, and I really encourage you to go on their websites. We've noted the foundation, but the Higgins Lake Land Conservancy, Higgins Lake Property Owners Association, Higgins Lake Swimmers Edge Organization, Higgins Lake United, regional areas, Michigan Clean Water Corps, Environment, Great Lakes and Energy Eagle, and Central Michigan Health Department District. And I probably have missed others. So if I have, please let me know, as well as anybody in the audience, if you have others that you are familiar with that are promoting the health of Higgins Lake and our surrounding waters and resources. Kudos to them. And we want to work cooperatively and collaboratively with all of those organizations. We also encourage you to help by volunteering through committees, projects. For the watershed management plan down the road, we'll be needing individuals on that team. You can make donations on our HOHL website or to local organizations. Keep informed. There's a ton of information out there on the website. You can request newsletters, attend the celebration, please. And children definitely are welcomed and are going to be, equally with agenda items for them to participate in. And tell others of the progress. We appreciate communications and don't hesitate to ask questions. And if you are part of an association organization that you would like us to present it, we would entertain that. Anything else for the good of our community? All right. I would then entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much, everyone.